Since 2015, the number of users across all social media platforms has increased by 125%, causing social media to largely impact the public sphere. Social media is free and accessible for people to post their own opinions and thoughts, and therefore generates the opinion of the mass members of the public. Habermas popularised the public sphere concept in his 1962 book, saying that it is one of a democracy and is a space for rational and critical debate about public issues and movements. Furthermore, he said that the public sphere includes regular members of the public that you will find in everyday places like pubs, cafes and parks. The increasing popularity of motorsports, specifically Formula One, is a good example at showing how digital culture and social media changes the public sphere. The push of social media content creation has weakened traditional journalism, allowing marginalised voices to be amplified while simultaneously blurring the lines between credible news and personal opinion. With a continuous increase in people becoming content creators, there is more people that are creating content for others that are like themselves, and there is a slow shift away from media that is mass-produced from corporate companies. No matter the topic, there is a niche content creators that have an audience. Therefore, the public sphere is more likely to be appeased by what they are seeing. The public sphere is a conceptual place where people come together to discuss issues of concern, and without social media being used by individuals, public discussion would rely heavily on radio, newspaper and television, which consequently would mean social change would rely on in-person organisation, and therefore information would spread much slower. Formula One became relevant on social media because it embraced social media changes to stay connected with current trends. With the shift to Liberty Media taking over streaming and media rights in 2017, team radios became a regular part of broadcasts, which produced dozens of viral moments, travelling fast online, and the memes helped further reach a younger audience. This caused a TikTok boom, with meme sounds and behind-the-scene clips attracting a new demographic of younger female fans. Liberty Media further changed F1 by modernising the sport's online presence to attract a younger audience through a focus on digital media and fan engagement. They achieved this by allowing teams and drivers to post more behind-the-scenes content, which used to be restricted under previous ownership. The recent events with Sky Sports Halo is a strong focal point for how the public sphere and social media managed to make fast change. On November 13th, Sky Sports announced a new TikTok channel called Sky Sports Halo, which they created specifically for female sports fans. The announcement enraged many, with Formula One fans saying that it feels demeaning to call something the little sister. We're trying to push for equality. Why should something specifically be catered towards women? Does that mean regular Sky Sports is catered towards men? Well, there has been a rise in influencers posting content created towards women to bridge the gap between what official accounts are posting. The content that Sky Sport Halo posted feels highly stereotypical, dumbing down the sport and posting content about the sportsmen's personal lives as if that's the only side of sports that women can be interested in. The idea for this content had come from female sports fans speaking on a lack of inclusion and representation in sport media. However, the execution of Sky Sports Halo is misogynistic and a company trying to profit off long-implemented societal gaps. While there is still a gender gap in the sort of content that's posted, it was made clear by sports fans that creating a whole new channel is patronising and diminishing the real reason women are fans. The original target demographic took to their own social media to express their concern, and within 2 days, on the 15th of November, Sky Sports Halo announced they were stopping all activity on their TikTok account as they saw the content that others were posting and understand that they didn't get it right. Without consumers getting a platform on social media, the opinion of the masses would not have been spread, and the overall public opinions would have stayed tied with the opinions traditional news and media sources would have posted. According to the Influencer Marketing Hub, TikTok reached its global peak downloads during the first quarter of 2020, with brands having to shift their advertisements from billboards to online when COVID-19 lockdown hit globally. While it could be argued that this shift caused social media to become less public, with brands taking over, more people started creating their own content, with the influencer market growing from $9.7 billion in 2020 to an estimated $32.5 billion for 2025. The increase in influencers allow voices to spread their opinions on topics that media companies wouldn't want to touch on due to charters and ethics. The increase in consumers on social media platforms allows for an expansion and participation of public discourse, letting voices that were historically marginalised speak up on matters they believe in. Social media has allowed the public sphere to become more public, allowing the uneducated to have an input in local and global issues. Public sphere used to be limited to educated and rich that socialised and had influential power, whereas now it can be almost everyone, and it's on a much more global scale where physical distance isn't an issue. The digital age has blurred the lines between public and private boundaries by creating global and interactive spaces that merges audiences into a single online space. With the influx of social media users, social media has complicated the public sphere by creating new opportunities for discourse, while traditional models of public debate have been left behind. With the ability to post whatever you want and wherever you want on social media, more topics can be covered that goes against broadcasting standards. Nonetheless, regular citizens documenting on events can expose injustice that traditional journalists may miss, but the downside to this is that rumours and misinformation can spread just as quickly. With a continuous push for equality, Formula One fans constantly battle the cultural dominance that is led by the FIA. The FIA control what Formula One drivers can and cannot speak on, restricting their public political opinions while pushing their glamorous lifestyles, and this control tries to restrict the public's generating their own opinions. While the media side of motorsport is run by Liberty Media, the FIA exercise influence through who gets a media accreditation, and therefore, if any external content is released that they disagree with being public, they can be punished. The indirect media power helps push their patriarchal ideology. Gramsci's theory of cultural hegemony argued that the ruling groups in modern society maintain power not through force, but through active participation of subjugated groups in their own repression, and in this case, the FIA is the ruling group by dictating what viewpoints members of the public are seeing on social media and across other media platforms. Formula One upholds a patriarchal ideology as a male-dominated sport by using social media to make the world of luxury come across as normal. The forced luxury narrative on social media becomes hegemonic, with some fans defending the ideologies as common sense. On the other hand, social media and the public sphere are battling these narratives by removing the inaccurate stereotypes that surround the sport by showing the struggles as well as the luxury. The public sphere, having their own say, battles the cultural dominance that the FIA try to continually push. To help broaden its global appeal and attract a wider audience, Formula One have implemented the Diversity and Inclusion Charter due to a push in criticism online. Through public support, they have started Formula One Academy, which is an all-female racing series launched to provide chances for women to progress through motorsport feeder series, and also have implemented STEM programs to inspire minorities to study STEM subjects. They have used social media platforms to push these messages while simultaneously showing their audiences that they are listening and continuously making change. In Chapter 51 of Public by Jennifer Peterson, she starts by deciphering what Habermas meant by the public sphere and how it has progressed through time, stating that the public sphere became the reference point for the legitimacy of democratic governments. Initially, the public sphere was a way for the bourgeoisie to make demands of the state, displaying that it was a viewpoint of the whole public. Throughout her explanation, she then proceeds to explain how global issues such as feminism and affirmative action in including people of colour have only recently become public matters due to the progression of the public sphere. This progression is due to the increase on everyone using social media, and you can look at Formula One's inclusivity increase in the past few years as proof that social media has positively spread people's opinions towards societal progress. In the beginning, the public sphere was limited to public places that people could venture to, but with the development of social media, the public sphere has been transformed. The development of social media platforms allows more people than ever to communicate and spread information and their own opinions, removing traditional gatekeepers. Having said that, online algorithms can favour content and often pushes one-sided stories to viewers based on the content that they originally engage with. Because of this, corporations and influencers often shape the conversations online in the same way that media companies and educational institutions once did. It can be said that social media has gradually been taken over by advertisements and promotions for paywall content, with a lot of videos being adverts, but there is still a mass publication of influencer content released daily that appeases the masses and allows people to post and speak about their genuine opinion, whether it is about a product or an event that has happened. Over time, social media has been taken over by subcultures that have different viewpoints and ideas to mainstream society. The societal shift that has come with the increase in social media users has shifted the public sphere and allows a wider audience to have their input in wrongs and right doings in society.